The Covino and Rich Show, the #1 show among drug lords, while they're cooking up crystal meth.
The Covino and Rich Show, Indy, Sirius XM 104.
All right, it's a show, Covino and Rich, on an action-packed Monday.
Everybody get up.
Hey, this is the song that we stood behind, and when Robin Thicke was on our show, I asked him about the Marvin Gaye influence in this song. He's like, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's a tribute to that genre, that time period. Absolutely. And now there's a battle, a lawsuit going on between Robin Thicke and Marvin Gaye.
It's crazy, right?
Or Marvin Gaye's family, I should say.
His estate.
But we're the show that welcomes guys like Robin Thicke, that introduces you to the best new music in the world. This is Blurred Lines. We were the first to tell you about the video. Come on. I'm Covino, that is Rich. Welcome to our show. Indy 104. Bronia's on the phones at 866-99-INDY. It's a guy show if you're new to this. Text us at 412 letter CNR show. But better yet, we want to hear from you right now. 866-99-INDY, because we have a guest that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, and he even has his own little intro that we found. Listen.
You can not only read your thoughts, but influence them as well.
We brought in Wayne Hoffman. He's a mentalist and illusionist.
Rob, Wayne Hoffman is a professional mentalist and illusionist.
Magician Wayne Hoffman's here.
Let's get ready to have our freaks freak. Please welcome mentalist Wayne Hoffman.
Wayne Hoffman.
Wayne Hoffman.
Wayne.
So Wayne,
Wow.
add this one.
That's
Add
like-
this one to your. Add this to your montage.
Yeah.
Wayne Hoffman, everybody.
Wayne Hoffman.
Yeah.
There he is. Now, Wayne, what would you even call yourself? Because I don't want to say the illusionist. So what do you?
The actual definition, the definitive title is a mentalist and illusionist.
Okay.
I started my career doing magic, and then later, when I actually understood psychology, I threw in the mentalism stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Now, Covino, the reason Wayne Hoffman is here is not only is he amazing. When Spot and I were at Revel last weekend in Atlantic City.
Dude, you came back with a Wayne Hoffman poster, foam finger. I mean, you were like raving about this guy, how he blasted your mind, the show Mind Candy at Revel. Mm-hmm. I felt so left out, you know what I mean? Because you're like, Covino, you don't understand. He was amazing.
Hey,
and you
cool.
were here on the show talking about the whole Coca-Cola routine, the trick at the end, and how he inspired you. So we had to welcome him to the show so that he could blast everybody's mind.
Hey, that's awesome, man. And listen, I really appreciate that, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. If I can make somebody leave the show inspired and vibing what I'm doing, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So that's awesome, man. That's great. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Now, I love when you have a crowd of the most random people, old people, young people, middle-aged people, and you have to make sure everyone knows, like, have we never met before? And some of these people, I guarantee you've never met before.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things with what I do. So
do people assume there's plants everywhere? Do people assume that when you do these amazing things that there's always some plant?
Some people do. You know, you get two different types of people. And what I do is basically, if you don't know what a mentalist is, I read minds. So I have people think of things, and I look at them, and I tell them what they're thinking. Now, some people are skeptical, obviously, as you kind of should be. You should take that with a grain of salt and kind of analyze, like, really? But some people go overboard, and they're like, oh, well, everybody in the audience has to be paid off and that they're in on it. And then you get the open-minded people who are like, yeah, you know, wow, maybe he actually has a learned ability, or he's psychic, which I don't claim to be. So, yeah, you get two opposite ends of the spectrum, man. I hear it all.
I'd imagine for the people that are the skeptics, that must be your biggest thrill.
Oh, yeah. Well, the scientists and the engineers and the people who do their lives based on science, they're my best audience, because their lives revolve around, you know, math, science, and the rules, and I just come in and I break all that shit apart, you know?
Wayne, what was it like? What was it like growing up? What was the first sort of experience you had where you said, you know what, I think I could do this?
Yeah, how it worked. I started doing magic as a kid. You know, you get that little magic set, and that just intrigued me into
like Burt Wonderstone.
Yeah, you know, it's a cliche story, but it is. You know, and a lot of guys that do what I do will tell you the same thing. You get bitten by this spark of mystery. I was into mysterious things and aliens and crop circles and magic, and then, you know, I studied psychology in college, and that's when I threw in the psychological stuff into a magic show that I was already doing. And now it's taken over. I mean, 90% of what I do is mentalism because, magic, honestly, I mean, people today with technology and they're learning, the internet and things like that, people have gotten jaded with a lot of visual magic, sawing a lady in half. So I think mentalism and being able to read minds, it does what magic used to.
Yeah, amaze people at a different level.
Exactly.
Now, I think every kid probably had some some trick cards, and I remember buying flash paper, the paper that you light and it turns into a little fireball. I think every kid went to the magic shop and got some, beginner shit. But you kept going.
Well, that's the thing. Most guys pick up video games, football, and stuff like that. I just never stopped. I just kept going, and one thing leads to another, and now I'm hanging out with you guys.
And let me ask you this, because we're here with Wayne Hoffman. You can see him at Revel. Mind Candy, the name of the show. Now, where you're blowing people's minds. You, in the beginning of your show, you do a little speech where you're like, people ask you, how come you don't use this to your advantage? And you're like, who says I don't?
Yeah.
Is there Covino, this is a serious question. Is there a code of not like Dexter's code, the code. Is there a code that you follow? Like, I'm not going to fuck with people too much because it's bad karma. Because with what you do, you probably could fuck with people quite often.
And you have to touch the fire to know never to do it again. And I did. When I first started, I was like, you know what, I could do this. I mean, put it this way: when I was in my heyday and out at the clubs, absolutely, man. I go up to a chick, instead of saying, "Can I buy you a drink?" You instantly walk up and say, "Is your birthday February 18th?" And they're like, wow, how did you know that? Yeah, boom, instant conversation. So I used it a little bit to my advantage there. But yeah, I mean, there are people that cross that line and you know who they are. It's the people that claim to have psychic abilities and they'll tell you your future. Pay me $1,000 and I'll tell you your future, this, and that. Yeah, that I stay away from. So
Wait, how often do you catch people lying? I mean, are people lying more than we realize?
Oh my God. I can't even. Listen, guys, you would not imagine how much people lie.
And just make up stories and shit. Because who would question it, really?
Just in general life, people lie. And you know what it is? It's weird being able to do what I do because you start to learn a lot about human nature and humans in general and the way they think and act. And I kind of, hopefully for the most part, I've been able to step out of the box and kind of put that aside and understand what people do, and why they do it, more importantly. So yeah, people are freaking just liars all day.
I saw your show. I also want you to get started with some of the stuff you do. I know you said you had some cool things you could do with people on the phones. You could do with us here in the studio. 866-99-INDIES is the number. Wayne, at your show, there was something you did that I thought was fascinating, where just by looking at this woman's face, you were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're doing this thing where you're looking at her, and then all of a sudden you fucking took out your phone and dialed her phone rang.
Yes.
I mean. Is that something you just could anyone learn these things? Or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Anybody can do what I do, and the thing I like to say, there's a phrase that sums it up perfectly. A 5-year-old can do what I do with 20 years of experience. That's the catch. Okay. So yeah, it's a learned ability. Just like, when you watch the Olympics, like say gymnastics, and you see these chicks doing backflips and this crazy stuff that you can't do, and even if you tried right now, you could never do it in a million years. But yet, if you were to train under someone, practice, do it every day of your life, you can do it. It's the same thing with me. What I do is not... See, people say, oh, that's impossible. No, it's just improbable right now. You just need to learn the skills to do it. And
so, Wayne, Rich and I were debating after he saw your show, and not that I'm a skeptic at all, because I love this stuff, but we were debating whether or not that's real or that's a trick. So you're saying your perceptionism, or what's it called? Hendril.
Well, there's
what's the muscle reading thing called?
That's Hellstromism. Yeah.
Hellstromism. We were debating whether or not that was real or that's just some sort of ploy to make us think you're doing something awesome.
Okay.
You're saying that's a learned sort of skill.
No, absolutely. Hey, and don't get me wrong. There are millions of different ways to come up with the same effect. I could, employ a million different methods, and I could. Yeah, you're right. There probably is a way I could do it. A trick of some sort, so to speak. But no, everything that I do is based on human behavior and psychology and whatnot. And then what I do, just to clarify, I'll throw in some visual things to spice it up. Some things, some illusions, or something that you start to question what you see. What I base my show on is some of the stuff is real, some of the stuff is an illusion, but I don't really tell each and every single thing what it is I'm doing. I let my audience decide. So you're wrapped up in this world. You don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? So you come in not knowing what to expect. Is it real? Is it not? And you know,
but henstralism is real.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Henstralism.
Hellstrom.
I know.
Yeah,
Hellstrom.
yeah, it's weird. It's a weird word.
Okay.
It's a guy by the last name of Hellstrom invented this. It's something you can actually Google. I mean, you can look it up. It's a thing. It's an actual thing. Yeah, it's kind of like you know, I don't know what else to compare it to. It's a science. It's kind of like hypnotism in a way. You can learn the art of hypnosis, and we know there's medical hypnosis where you go under to quit smoking or break a habit, but it's also used for entertainment. You know, where you get someone to bark like a dog, cluck like a chicken, and all these other things. So there's same thing with me. Psychology, there's clinical psychology. I could go out and, you know people, read their body language and figure out what's going on in their head, what their problems are.
Based on this other shit, though, can you like work for the government?
You know, a few years ago, I had an anti-terrorist task force approach me about working for the U.S. government, and I declined the offer because it was way too heavy for me. What I do, and you saw in the show, I'll have people think of anything. They can think of whatever they want, and I'm pretty accurate with what I get. I mean,
so you could have some terrorist locked down, and you could go in there and break a terrorist. Maybe.
Well, what I did was I studied FBI interrogation techniques, things used by the police, and other things like that to understand people body language, how to make a person feel uncomfortable so it really comes out, break them down, and know what's going through their mind. But see, here's the issue. What I do, and in this, it's not 100%. Nothing that I do is 100%. Even if it's 99%, it's still not 100% accurate. So if somebody came to me with some crazy stuff like, hey, people are going to die unless you get in this guy's mind and do something about it, way too much weight on my shoulders. Before all this science and all this craziness, I'm an entertainer.
Gotcha.
When I hit the stage, that's what I do, and it doesn't matter if I were a singer or whatever. I'm an artist. I'm an entertainer. So first and foremost, I entertain. Way too heavy to get into the government stuff, police and interrogation and profiling. So,
one last question before you blow some minds here on the show. Hanging out with Wayne Hoffman from Mind Candy at Revel, at Wayne Hoffman on Twitter. How does it affect your relationships then with women or anybody when maybe they're just blowing off plans, like, the casual lie and things like that, or maybe just how they're feeling. Maybe you're with a girl and, she's confused about you and you're so perceptive. With your perceptionism, how does that affect your relationships?
I'll tell you what. In the beginning, I back in how long ago was this? 2005, something like that. I had a chick that I started dating. Actually, it was July 3rd was our first date. Oddly enough, I remember that. We went out and she knew what I did, but she didn't know the extent. She's like, "Do you do it off stage?" I said, "Well, not really. I have to concentrate and really try." Well, anyway, we get back to my place and we have the start having the conversation. How many people have you been with? How many, past relationships? What's your story? And I was telling her, and then I turned to her and I said, I can't believe you've only been with 3 guys. Like, you're amazing. You're beautiful. I would imagine everybody on the earth wants to date you. And she just turns to me and she goes, "How did you know that?" And I looked at her. I'm like, "Didn't you tell me that?" And she goes, "No." Anyway, she got so freaked out, guys. She actually got up and walked right out of my door, like right out of my house. And all shit aside, I felt bad. I felt like shit. I actually, full disclosure here, I actually started crying. I was like, I cannot believe this. I'm like, anyway, long story short, she came back and we ended up being in a 3-year relationship. So things worked out. But how it works, I'll tell you.
Well done. MacGrubered that.
Yeah. From the get-go, let me tell you what. From the get-go, it's awesome. It helps you meet people. Like I said, I mean, when you have a good understanding of what's going through a chick's mind, I mean, if you think back, there's an old movie, What Women Want, with Mel Gibson, where he can actually read chicks' minds, and it shows how, he goes out and uses these abilities. In the long run, it's a great thing, man. I think if anybody understands people, it just benefits you. Here's the catch. When you mention a white lie, that's when the problems come in. I had to start checking myself and my emotions and balance out what I was doing because, for example, I had an incident where a chick said, "Hey, I'm going over to my mom's house tonight. I'm just going to hang out with her, and, I haven't seen her in a while." Great, go ahead. Well, I knew she was lying, and I knew where she was going. She was going out to the club with her friends. But here's the catch. I had to analyze not what, but why. And it's, I know why. And it turns out, she just didn't want me to feel uncomfortable, that she wanted to go out with her friends. She didn't feel like she could come to me and tell me that. and she went out and she had a great time and she came back and everything was cool. It wasn't malicious. She wasn't.
Imagine if you knew everything like this.
I don't know everything, man. I wouldn't be here hanging out with you guys if I did. I'd be the president of Earth.
But you pick up on things that most people don't.
Wow.
I mean, I'd like to think so, yeah. And it's an active thing. I have to try to get the stuff.
All right, well, we got a bunch of people lined up on the phone. You got us here in the studio. You got Covino in L.A. So, I mean, whatever you want to do.
Well, let me point something out.
Okay,
here's something that I want to do while people are listening to this.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound absolutely crazy, okay? But I'm telling you, and you're going to see. While we're talking and I start doing this stuff, starting right now, people are going to experience weird things right now that are listening to this. What's going to happen, it focuses a lot around electronics, but other things as well. Lights start flickering. Light bulbs will explode in your house. If you're driving right now, your car might just stall randomly. If your car is broken, it might start running again. Another thing, and one thing that's really particularly weird when I do these shows and I come on and I interact with people and people listen to me, it's broadcast in any capacity. If it has to do with time and watches. So if you're listening right now, if you're at home and you have an old broken watch in your junk drawer, maybe something, the battery died or something that's sitting in a junk drawer, think about your house and where an old watch might be that doesn't run anymore. I want you to go get it right now. Because while I start doing these things,
I got one. I'll go run and get one.
These broken watches will often start running again. So if you have one, I want you to go and set it.
It's in my car. Can I dip out just for a second and get it?
I
swear to God,
you never
right
know. You never know. So if somebody has an old broken watch, I want you to set the time to the correct time, the time that it is right now. And I want you to hold it in your hand, and I want you to just concentrate on it while we're doing the show. And if your broken watch starts running again, I want you to call in and tell us about the story. And also watch for other things. I've had people, they're eating at home, and their fork tines will begin to bend. You'll see, it'll slowly begin. I know, it's creepy.
It sounds ridiculous.
Dude, just wait.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. I know it sounds absolutely bananas, but right now, things are going to begin to happen. Really weird things. If you're using a GPS in your car, I just had somebody do this. They were driving, listening. Their GPS instantly, for no reason, switched from English to French. Like that. Just out of nowhere. I've had everything happen, man. I had a guy whose bus broke down on the side of the road. He was listening to me, and he was waiting for a tow truck. I told him over the phone, I said, concentrate on your car if it's broken down right now, and it'll begin starting again. And lo and behold, he starts it up, runs again, pulls away.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Covino, you're back. Set your watch to the current time, which would be about 2:17 Eastern. 2:17. You have, 11 something by you.
Because I'm a bowler on a budget. I have 3 watches that don't work. I have three of them here, so give me some time here.
Okay. Yeah. Now, like I said, and I want to hear from the listeners all these crazy things that are happening. So if something weird happens to you while you're listening to this, and I want you to start paying attention, I want you to call in, and things are going to start happening. So yeah.
All right. 866-99-INDY. 866-99-INDY.
Yeah. So yeah. Are you ready? Let's dive right into some weirdness,
okay,
man.
Cool.
Let's get
weird, Wayne. Let's get weird.
We've kind of been building up with a little foreplay. Let's launch right into the good stuff. I'll tell you what. I could do things with you guys in the studio. I'm gonna try. You know what? Let me try something. With it. Are you there with your watches, or did you disappear?
Covino, you there with your watches?
No, I'm here. I'm here with my watches.
I didn't know if you walked away again. All right, listen. I'm going to, instead of trying to read your mind, I'm going to try to implant something in your brain right now. Okay.
Okay.
And these two guys are here in the studio with me. I'm gonna try something. I want you to imagine right now. You leave here. You leave your place. You leave the studio. You go out and you go to 7-Eleven. And I want you to imagine you walk in and you buy some stuff, some junk, whatever it is. And I want you to imagine that you're paying in cash. And I don't want you to think about what you're buying. Just imagine the scene of them handing you some change back. Okay, you got it in your mind?
Yeah.
All right. Just listen to the sound of my voice for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now clear your mind completely.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your head starting right now. How much change did you get back from whatever you just purchased? And let me point out before you say it, I have something written on a card in my hand right now.
Yeah, he just wrote something down.
Tell me the first amount of change that just popped into your head.
The total amount?
Yeah.
42.
Now, is that just 42 cents or $42? Like, what popped
I was
into your
thinking.
head?
I was thinking 42 cents.
I'm showing him right now.
Holy
What did
Check
you write
this
down?
out.
Holy
Look
He
at
just
it.
hit on his card. Look at this, Covino. He wrote, Covino will say 42 cents.
That's crazy.
Holy shit.
42. It's the
So that was a mind. You implanted that in my mind.
Yes. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's nuts. I mean, that is nuts. Either that or I'm a huge Jackie Robinson fan. Rich just saw it this weekend.
Yes, I did see
that
42.
Could be. That could be.
And
yeah.
Drew
Wow.
Mack cried. One of our buddies, Drew Mack, cried during the entire movie. But that's craziness. I
Wow.
love that implanting shit.
Yeah. So again, that's a different vibe. And,
Wow.
Yeah. So putting things into people's heads is one
Mind
of those.
blown, bro. Mind blown.
Mine candy. Hey,
There you go.
can we put with someone on the phone? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
let's do
yeah,
something-
let's listen to some of these things that are going on. Let's see what's going.
Devin in Dallas, what's up?
Well,
That's
going well,
nuts.
and I had 42 cents in my head as well, and I'm freaking out.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
well, yeah, people listening. I just realized the people listening are hearing what I'm doing. So yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's awesome.
You know what's funny too is I'm so casually, going through the steps with you. I'm like, this is no fucking way, and hilarious that I
Yeah.
said that.
It's
Wow.
awesome.
Because
I
why?
almost-
What would stop me from knowing my first instinct and just saying something else though?
Yeah, I can't tell you. That's my secret.
Hold on, Devin, we'll go back to you. I just want to know. Sam in New York, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Rich?
Yo, Sam, were you thinking 42 as well?
What's up, Rich?
Were you thinking 42 when he said that, or were you not paying
I
attention?
sense
I
not.
wasn't thinking 42. I don't know if he's legit or not.
No, he is.
I
Trust
almost
me.
thought of sending out the number 37 cents, but then I switched it to 42 just to make it.
37, I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. It's just too much time doing things I wasn't supposed to as a child.
All right, so let's see. What do we want to do next, Wayne? What's,
There's so many things. I mean, you know what? To give you an idea of what it is that I actually do, to give you like a good sense of, especially when I'm talking about the people at home and the things they're going to experience. Yeah. I want to show you something kind of crazy. I have a quarter here that's sitting on whatever you call it, the console.
Yeah.
Now, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay. Hold out your right hand. Here's what I want you to do. Squeeze the quarter like this and just hold it like this. Now, is it vibrating, shaking, or moving, or is it just sitting in your hand?
It's just sitting there.
Okay, it's not doing anything, right?
not doing
okay,
anything.
if it is...
Bronya's just got a quarter in his hand.
Yeah, okay. Now, if it is moving, it's not me. It's something that you ate for breakfast or something. Okay. So basically, you're holding this. I want you to squeeze it. Put your other hand on top of it, so you have, it's locked in there. So basically, you're holding a quarter in your hand. Right now, is it moving at all?
No.
In a minute, it will be, and you're going to freak out. In a second, I'm going to start concentrating on your hand, and it's in these moments, this is a demonstration of what they call psychokinesis. And I don't really believe in supernatural powers. It's just creating a natural energy. I'm going to concentrate on your hand, and I'm probably about 3 feet from you. I'm not even going to get near you. And I'm going to start concentrating, and what's going to happen is, as soon as I start concentrating, I'm going to tell you, just go. I'm going to say the word go, and I want you to take the quarter, and I want you to start as soon as you hear me say go, you're going to start rubbing the quarter like this, and you're instantly going to start to feel it bend and melt while it's in your hand. I know this is crazy.
What?
You're going to feel it bend. You're holding it. I'm not going to touch it. Just keep it right there. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. And it's in this moment right now, real crazy stuff is going to be happening to people that are listening. I don't understand how it works. It just does.
Okay.
Hold it up. Now, again, I'm 3 feet from you. You're holding a quarter.
Yep.
Don't move. Go. Just start rubbing it, and you're going to feel it bending. Is it bending?
What the fuck
Is it bending?
going on right
Is
now?
it bending? Yeah. All
Yo.
right, 3, 2, 1. I'm not going to touch it. Hold it up. Show him.
Yo, he's got a bent quarter in his hand.
Now let me see it. You'll actually see it. I'll try to get so you can see it. Here, I'll give you a view so you can see it. Watch. Just watch.
Yo, that shit's bending in his hand. It's
Yeah.
like,
You saw it melt over. It just a little bit more.
yo.
Shit my pants right
Yo,
now.
can you tweet a picture right now at Covino and Rich of the bent quarter.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can tweet it out of you. You got it? All right.
Covino,
go.
this is insane.
If you just joined us, Wayne Hoffman on the Covino and Rich show from Revel. That's where the fights were this weekend at Revel that I was talking about earlier in Atlantic City. Mind Candy's the show at Wayne Hoffman, WayneHoffman.com. This guy's blowing our mind here on the Covino and Rich Show.
Yeah.
Rich and Spot saw the show live. We wanted to bring some of it to you here. And again, if you want to see it live, check it out at Revel, the sickest casino in Atlantic City. Wayne, before you continue, a question that Spot brought up when he came back, our producer Spot, he wanted to know, he said that there was a weird vibe that you create, during your show, where he was convinced that you hypnotize the audience without them knowing it a little bit. Is there truth to that?
I understand hypnosis, and I use it as one of the millions of different tools. I don't hypnotize the entire audience. I do get them into a zone at the end of the show. I just bring people in on an emotional level, but I don't ever, for the sake of full disclosure, I don't hypnotize the entire audience. Quite frankly, the possibility of that is slim to none to get every single person in the audience. I do bring people on stage, and I'll put them into kind of a hypnotic state briefly. I can't induct them fully, only because it takes too long. Hypnosis as a whole takes a very long time, and my show is fairly fast paced. I like to keep it moving. But to answer your question simply, I don't hypnotize the entire audience, but I know how to hypnotise people. If that answers your question.
Well, guys, if anything is happening, if you have any questions, 866-99-INDY. Sorry to interrupt. Continue.
No,
Wayne Hoffman.
Let's. We got Zeke in Mississippi. Zeke, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, bud?
Hey.
Hey, man, I'm just calling to see if see what he can do and blow my mind, man. I was just trying to participate with.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you what. Clear your mind, and it's hard to get people over the phone and read them because I can't see them. Body language says it all. Knowing I can listen to the tone of your voice. I'll tell you what. Let me try something with you right now. I want you to imagine that. Let's say you want a vacation and you're gonna go to. Let's say like somewhere in Europe, like regular, I guess what they would call Western Europe, like a European country, okay, like Greece or something. Well, don't pick that one because I just said it. But like a European country, and don't pick one of those crazy Eastern European countries that keep changing their name, like Czechoslovakia. I don't even think that exists anymore. Yeah, Yugoslavia, whatever. Pick a country in Europe that you'd like to travel to one day, and then just whatever it is. And it can be obscure. You could pick something like Luxembourg, which is, I guess, one of the tiniest countries in Europe. Or you could pick anyone. Just pick a country in Western Europe that you would like to travel to one day, and then let me know when you have that in your mind.
I've got it in my mind.
All right.
My map's correct in my head, but
Okay, all right. Let me see what I can pick up from you just on vibe alone. And I might not be, I'll just try this. I might not be able to get it at all. We'll see. Think of the spelling of the country. You got that in your mind right now?
I do, yeah.
All right. Right off the bat, just from hearing that, I get a sense right off the bat there's a letter A in your country somewhere. Am I correct?
Yes.
I'm also getting the letter N like Nancy. Is there a letter N?
Yes.
I'm also seeing a letter. This one keeps flipping back and forth in my mind. Is it a letter D that I'm seeing?
D, did you say?
D like David.
No.
And then it keeps flipping to an R. Is it an R?
Yes.
E?
Yes.
Now I see a C shape curving around. Is it a C?
Yeah.
It's R-F-R-A-N. Oh, okay. F-R-A-N-C-E. Is it France?
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
There you
Wow.
go. Because I keep...
Unbelievable, man. That was...
It's crazy, right?
Man, I'm driving down the road, too. You're going to make me wreck, damn it.
Yeah, just be careful, man. Just be careful.
So when you say that, Wayne, when you say that, you're seeing letters flip around, like you're actually visualizing letters in your mind, or like, how does that work from your perspective?
Now, obviously, I can't give you the full. I choose not to tell you exactly what I'm doing, obviously, but everything that I do comes into my brain, and then I process it in my own way. Like, if a person is thinking of an image, like a picture of something, or let's say, for example, in reverse, they're thinking of a word. Let's say the word is cake. I'll start picturing.
I think you read my mind. I was picturing butt cheeks right now.
Okay. Some big old
a nice glistening cake. Yeah.
It wasn't hard to get that out of your brain. That's always on your mind in the back somewhere. But yeah, no. So I'll envision my own version of it. Now I don't know if that's what the person is thinking of necessarily, like that exact thing that I see in my brain. But I process my own I process the thought in my own way, if that makes sense. So I and depending on what it is, again, this is so hard to explain, guys, in like a few minutes, but it's like, depending on what it is, if it's a word, if it's a name of a person, if it's a number, if it's a place, if it's an image, I always or a song or a movie, I process them all in different ways. Like if a person,
Can you guess a song that Rich is thinking?
I can try. Anything's possible. Put it this way: it's the concept of if a person can think of it in general, whatever. It
No,
may
actually,
be,
you know what? I already thought of it. I thought of it. I have this power as well.
You know?
Rich was thinking Proclaimers 500 miles. I know for
I
a
got it
fact.
right here for you.
You know what?
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unbelievable. You're hired.
Unreal.
You're hired.
You're
Yes.
his new apprentice.
That's it. You're
Well,
the opening act at Revel. Let's go.
Can you blow Rich's mind? I mean, you did something for me, 42. That was
Yeah,
crazy. You
yeah,
planted
yeah.
something. You did the quarter thing with Bronya.
Let's
And
rock
guys,
and roll.
call, too, 866-99-INDY.
Yeah, I want to hear. What I really want to get to. Like I said, it's very difficult to do it over the phone. But I definitely want to hear right now. I'm telling you guys, I want to hear these things. In fact, if you're calling in for me to read your mind, take a seat. But if you're calling in with it, I want to hear these experiences because you guys are going to freak out. The people will call in and they are like, I'm telling you, light bulbs are exploding. TVs are turning off and on right now. Old broken watches are getting started again. But yeah, let me do something with you, Rich. Earlier,
Okay.
I told you, I said, I had you just think of a random word and I told you to lock it in your mind. Remember what it is. Don't tell anyone and don't write it down. Do you have that word in
Yes.
your mind?
Yeah.
All right. Just very simply think of that word. And just for those listening, I'm sure most of your listeners trust you, but you have not told me this. This isn't prearranged.
I actually
in
have a
any
way that I could put it out on the radio. They'll see it on their screen, actually. Hold
Okay.
on.
You know what? Don't.
Don't? Okay.
Don't.
Okay.
I mean, well, I just don't want people to think that I would know.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
I
Okay,
mean,
fine.
unless there's you know what I mean, because they don't know
Okay.
if I'm looking at it or not.
Okay,
So just
gotcha.
lock it in your mind. So think of it.
I'm gotcha.
Whatever it is.
Mhm.
And just look at me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. There you go. That was good. I'm just, for those listening, I'm just staring right at him. He's looking at me. It's a little bit weird, but
Yeah.
we're working through this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Weird question. You're not left-handed, are you?
No.
Okay, because I'm getting it in reverse for some reason.
Okay.
Let me do the alphabet in reverse. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. I keep getting a letter R, and I keep getting a letter P. Keep looking at me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I get that it ends in an E. It keeps popping up. Am I correct?
Yes.
Keep thinking. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I keep getting P really strong. If I got the other letters that I got an O and an S, but they were very soft, so I don't think it starts or ends with any of those. If I had to guess, I'd put it in this order. I'd say the letters that I'm getting from you the strongest would be a P and an E, which leads me to believe it might begin or end in a P. Well, you said it end is in an E, so I think it might begin with a P. I get an R. I get another. I keep getting P, so I don't know if there's two P's in it, but it could be PRPSE. If I just sound that word out, were you thinking of the word purpose?
Holy shit.
Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Holy shit. That was great.
How the fuck?
That's awesome, dude.
Just from looking at I mean that's just a skill, huh?
That's crazy, right?
Holy shit.
Now, for those listening, you did not tell me
No,
that word.
I didn't tell
Of
you
course.
anything.
Now, here's the thing: if anybody,
great.
if anybody can prove otherwise, now, there's a lot.
And
of
let me tell you what I was
skeptics.
trying to do. During letters that weren't in my word, I was trying to like blink and do shit to try to like
I noticed. Because it was very unnatural, and I can see through that.
Covino, because I'd imagine if I have the word purpose, right, which was the word I thought of, right? I'd imagine that he expects me to do things during those letters. So like
Right.
during like the letter M or D, I like
Right.
tried to shift my eyes. I tried to
throw
throw
me
him
off.
off.
Well, see, here's the thing. Let me explain. Everybody thinks that, and that's everyone's first assumption that you blink on the letters. And let me tell you what, if it were that easy, everybody would be doing it.
Well, something you said at your show at Revel when you did the Mind Candy show, something I found interesting. You revealed to the crowd that you never are analyzing someone when they think you're analyzing them.
Often. I mean, sometimes
A
that's
lot
not
of-
true, but a lot of the time, yeah. I'll be reading somebody on the offbeat. Like, for example, if I'm talking to you, but
if you're talking to Covino and I, you're talking to Covino, and he thinks you're automatically looking at him, but meanwhile, you might be just watching my movements.
Correct.
Because at that point, I'm relaxed.
Correct. Yeah, it's when a person is being watched, they tense up. We all know this. I mean, think about this. Let's say the last time you had a formal meeting with someone, you had to wear a suit and tie or look, professional. You locked up. You're like, let me hold the door for you. Yes. Good evening. Good afternoon. Let me hachu, bless you. Would you like a lozenge? But then as soon as you go back home and you take that, suit and tie off, and you're in your sweats, kicking back, scratching places, like you're more relaxed and you become yourself. If you're in a bathroom alone, you're a little bit more relaxed than if you have a crowd of people watching you. It's just natural human behavior. So yeah, what I do is, like, for example, if I'm reading someone and I know that I'm going to be reading someone that's in the room next, I'll be talking to one, but the whole time I'm watching the other one out of the corner of my eye, just to get a sense of what might be going through their mind. Or the basis of it, in a nutshell, is if I can figure out how a person is thinking in a moment, it allows me to know what they're thinking right down the line.
What about past moments? Like, what if you were watching Ryan Braun's tape of him saying he never took performance-enhancing drugs? When you watch clips like that, any sort of confession on TV, are you able to pick up on it?
Anytime something like that hits the media, I instantly go back and I watch the entire thing. The first one that I ever did was I did not have sexual relations with that woman. The whole Clinton thing. And I analyzed these tapes when Lance Armstrong came out with his whole, debacle of the performance-enhancing drugs, and he went on Oprah. I watched that from beginning to end. A lot of media outlets actually contacted me and wanted me to comment on it and get my take on, was he lying? Was he telling the truth? So yeah, oddly enough, Ryan Braun, I actually met him years ago. We did a photo shoot together out in Orange County. Real nice guy. Blew me away when that came out. But then again, you can't be that surprised. It's just the way of the world today. It's crazy stuff, man.
Actually, what is it? Shayna has a question in Oklahoma that pretty interesting. What's up, Shayna?
Hey, I was just wondering, is it harder to read women than it is men because they have so much going on in their mind?
You know what? Quite the contrary. You couldn't be farther from the truth. Women, women statistically are more, and think about this. If you logically just look at the world, women are way more emotive. Their body language, they'll move a lot more. They're more emotional. They're more outspoken. Guys are like rocks when it comes to telling you their thoughts and what they read. A woman is more likely to break down and cry over, a movie than a man, statistically. And that's not sexism. That's just mathematics, okay? So women are more emotive. And if I lock in on body language, oh, man, women are like field days. Men will often lock up and play the tough guy role where, no, you will not read me, poker face, no. Where women are, they'll smile and giggle, or they'll shift their weight or flick their hair. One of the things is women wear a lot of accessories, many of them. And again, I'm not trying to stereotype. It's just the way it is, the way of the world. So they'll fix their straps or their necklaces or their hair or their earrings and all. They have tons of stuff to fiddle with. And for me, that's a gold mine. So to answer your question simply, it is possible to read a woman's mind.
Awesome.
More so than a guy. Great
question. Is it possible to tap into thoughts that you may have forgotten? Meaning, like, for example, and I don't know how good you are, but if you're able to pick up on what it is I lost, please don't announce it on the air. Maybe you could write it to Rich, but I lost something of value. I lost something of my wife's. And for that, I was in the doghouse, and I just feel like shit about it because I lost it.
Right.
Now, if you could see or know the item, like I said, write it to Rich, because I didn't announce it on the air what it was that I lost.
Okay.
And I don't want to announce it. But, like, would you be able to tell me if I did lose it or if it was stolen? Would you be able to, like, tap into that? Because I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what happened to it.
Great question, and especially with lost items. There's a thing like a psychometry kind of vibe that you can use in a performance where if I were to physically touch an object, I could then, if you hid it in a room, I could find it. There's another thing where someone will hand me an object, and I hold it in my hand, and then give impressions. I could tell the name of the person who owns it, or where it was purchased or something like that, which I don't really do. I don't do that often. I've studied it and I understand it. So in this case, with what you're saying, first of all, does Rich know what it is? Or
I know what it is.
Okay.
Rich knows what it was, but for the safety of the item, I just said it was a John Cicada CD.
Okay, fair enough.
So the audience knows that I lost my wife's John Cicada CD, and just sucked
Right.
big time.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, here's the thing. I will say this. With what I do, if I read, how do I put this? People say, "Are you a mind reader?" Well, you could label me that, but I label myself more of a thought reader. I read thoughts more than I read a mind. A thought is a moment in time when a person can concentrate on one particular thing that they know is in their brain. To answer your question simply, no. Can I help you find that laptop? Man, I wish I could. I'm not a psychic. What I do is seemingly psychic. Like I obviously figuring out what people are doing and what they're thinking. It seems like I could step into that realm. But put it this way, if you knew where it was, then yes, I could. If the laptop had a mind and could think where it was, and I could read it, then yes, I could. You know what I mean? Then I.
By the way, I
do it.
lost the John Cicada CD.
John Cicada CD. Want to go say hi to some people? Let's go to Cincinnati
rock and roll.
and say what's up to CJ. CJ, what's up?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Man, I tell you what, I wish they could read my mind today. These people driving in the left lane, man. I don't know what the hell's going on today, but, man, they are driving like crazy today.
Here's what I recommend. Get real close to their bumper very carefully and put your high beams on, and that will transfer your mental energy into their eyes and therefore make them pull into the right lane.
And you know what I do? I get so pissed off at these people. I drive up around them, then I put on my windshield wiper fluid to blast them. That way they have to lift their dead-ass lazy head and turn on their wipers. Since they inconvenience me, I'm going to get them back.
Yes. Well, here's my recommendation. Seeing into the future and being able to predict things, my best recommendation, drive safely.
Thank you.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear the report. Remember that guy that was on the phone? Yeah, his car ran off the road.
Hold on, we got a bunch of people on the phone. JJ is saying some weird shit happened to his watch. What's up, JJ?
Yeah, hi. Enjoying the show. So at exactly 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, my watch that has previously been working okay, the second hand started to jump in 5-second increments instead of going around normally like it does.
See what I'm talking about?
All of a sudden, just it's going in 5-second increments.
When you said that, by the way, Wayne, when you were like, now things are going to happen, I'll tell you what happened. I don't know if I'm reading into this way too much, but a fly flew right into my face. Right when you said that.
I don't know. That could be just a coincidence.
That's why I didn't mention it, but it did happen.
Here's the thing, man. I don't know. I have no clue. That doesn't sound. I've never heard that before. I think that quite frankly, I'm not going to take credit for that. I'll brush that off as just a coincidence.
letting you know.
Shit. Brian, you're on in Saskatchewan. What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up, brother?
I was just wondering if I could get my mind read.
It's a possibility. It's difficult to do a lot of stuff over the phone, obviously, because I can't see you or interact.
Is there something? Remember, like when you did the 42-cent change thing with Covino? Is there another type of thing that people could play along with?
Yeah. Let me try something with you.
Okay.
What's your name again?
Brian.
I know. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to clear your mind completely. And just let me ask you this. Are you home? Are you driving? Are you busy? Or what are you doing?
I'm in my truck at work.
Okay, so and now is it moving? Is there traffic? Or are you just sitting still?
I'm sitting still right now.
Okay, good. Because the less you have to worry about, the less going through your mind. Just clear your mind. Totally relax. I'm going to name something right now, like a general topic, and I just want you to lock the first thing that comes into your mind into your brain. Okay, you got it? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. First thing that comes into your head. I just want you to think of a simple shape, like a square or something. Got one?
Yes.
Okay, now I want you to think of a different shape and put one inside of the other in your mind. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. I was trying to project something through the radio here, and I'm not sure if it worked. But did you picture a circle with a triangle?
No.
Okay. Tell me what it was, and it'll tell me a lot about your mind and how you think.
It was a rectangle with a triangle in it.
Okay. You went for rectangle. Okay. Good. Now let me ask you a question. Would you rather solve a riddle or paint a picture?
Solve a riddle.
Interesting. Okay, that tells me that you have an analytical mind. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna name something else. I want you to just lock the first thing that comes into your head. You ready?
Okay.
Right now, just think of a vegetable. Okay? Got one?
Yep.
Now, for a split second, I thought about projecting carrot. Did you think of carrot?
Yes, I did.
Right away. Okay. That was the first one that popped into my mind, which tells me you might be a channel B. I think you're a channel A leaning B, and anybody that touches on a B is actually difficult to influence. And I'll explain kind of what this is all about. What I do is I try to figure out what type of a person is, and it helps when I see them as a person and shake their hand and get to know them a little bit. Just hearing your voice, it's a lot more difficult. But I break people down into 3 categories: channel A, channel B, channel C. Channel A's, they're your analytical people, the scientists, a lot of engineers, critical thinkers. Channel C, more creative. These are dancers, poets, artists, hippies in the park smoking a joint, those guys. Then you get channel B. Channel B is a divided line where you have a mix of both of those things. Then you have subsets: channel A leaning B, B leaning A, B leaning C, and C leaning B. Anything that touches on the B, you never know which way their mind is going to go. So you never know how to force something into their head. So yeah, it's figuring this stuff out by hearing voices or throwing things in. So there you go. I batted 1 for 2 on that one, but I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Later, brother. Let's see. Stu wants to say what's up in Wyoming. Hey, Stu.
Yo, buddy.
Yo, buddy. So what throws you off the most about a guy like Wayne Hoffman? Is it are you a skeptic or not?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard and watched some of this stuff. Most of the time I think it's bullshit, but I guess let's see what's going on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I don't blame you. If anybody tells you they do something amazing, like crazy or weird, like what I'm doing, absolutely take it with a grain of salt, because most of the time it's something you should question, like especially psychics, when these people say, give me $100 and I'll tell you, about your life and what's going to happen. If they're talking pay me money, you got to question that kind of stuff, because there are people out there that are just doing it to scam people. And I teach people different ways to avoid scams and stuff like that. And I teach my friends scams that they could use at the bar to get free drinks all night. So there's a lot of stuff, you should be wary of. Absolutely, man. It's one of those things where, go into everything skeptic, but I also remind people that, like you saw on my show, it's use your imagination.
Gotcha.
Keep your mind open to the world, because as an adult, we tend to close up. When you're a kid, huge imagination. You could turn a refrigerator box into a castle or a cave, and you used to make fortresses out of bed sheets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll try to. Where are you from?
Wyoming.
Wyoming. Okay, cool. I've actually performed in Wyoming, I think, a couple of times. I can't remember the last time I was there. It's been a while. Clear your mind for a second. I'll see if I can force something into your brain. You're going to have to obviously trust the guys here. I'm going to jot something down. I'm going to see if I can pick up on this. What's your name again, brother?
Stuart.
Stuart. All right. Can I call you Stu?
Yep.
Here we go. S-T-U. Stu. I'm just going to write this down here.
S-T-E-W.
S-T-E-W. Okay, like the soup. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. All right, Will. All right. Do me a favor, brother. I want you to name any number between 1 and 100 in a second. But don't think of one right now. Just listen to my voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, Rich can verify. I have something here written on a card. Stu, just name a number between 1 and 100 out loud.
22.
22. Is that important to you, like a birthday?
No, football, man.
Check it out.
Yo, what does it say? Stu will say 22, Covino. Look.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because what's funny? I tried to put something in his head, and at the last second, it hit me that there's something already in his mind. I saw 22, and I knew it was important. And he said it was a sport number. So there you go, brother.
Dude, there you go, Stu.
Thank you, man.
Hilarious. I'm not bullshitting you, brother. Just real quick, we're running out of time, but Natasha in Texas says that she was thinking circle, triangle, and then carrot, so you're blasting her mind.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
That's awesome. It's
Thanks, Natasha.
Yeah, if you're listening.
You're welcome.
Cameron in California saying the same thing. You were thinking the shapes and everything?
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, if you're listening, I'm trying to project these through the radio, so anybody that's listening actually would pick up on them. It's yeah.
Now, before we wrap, when you first got here, you gave our intern Bronya a piece of paper. Let's not forget this.
Yeah.
You told him to write down a name of someone important to him and a number,
and a random
and
number.
he folded it up and put it in his pocket.
Yeah, I assume you still have it there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna do two things here at the same time. How long do we have? Yeah, a couple minutes.
We have 2 minutes.
Okay, here we go.
2 minutes.
Let's rattle it off. So I told you to put that in there. I want you to hang on to it. Actually, keep it in your pocket too. I don't want you to take it out. That way we know it's safe.
Yeah.
And quick question: you didn't show anybody this. You didn't tell anyone. Did you text it to anybody or tell anybody?
No.
Okay, good. So you are thereby the only person in the world that knows what it is. Think of it now. Now, automatically, I have a weird question for you. Did you think of your dad?
No.
It was because I feel like there's a male, but I feel like I feel like it's close. It could be a brother, but I'm definitely I see somebody who's close to you in your mind, and I'm getting. Is it a brother?
Yeah.
Because it's a male figure really close, so it's got to be one of the two. Now, does your brother share his middle name with somebody in the family?
Not this particular one that I'm thinking of.
But there's another one. Does he share his name with your dad?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting then. Keep thinking. Now, you didn't write that fact down, did you?
No.
Weird question. Is your brother's first name and your dad's first name the same?
No.
It's your dad's middle name and your brother's first name. No?
My dad's first name, my brother's middle name.
I see. Okay. Keep thinking. Now just look at me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. There you go. He had tension in the cheeks, and it built up at S.
Hold on one second. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a second.
All right, let's rock and
roll.
Keep calm. CNR's on. The Covino and Rich Show. The Covino and Rich Show. Indy, Sirius XM 104. And now, carry on.
All right. Covino and Rich. On a Monday.
We're in the middle of blasting your mind with the star of Mind Candy from Revel Casinos in Atlantic City, Mr. Wayne Hoffman, at Wayne Hoffman on Twitter, WayneHoffman.com. He's a star of perceptionism, right? That's what you called it, man?
Yeah, I guess the proper thing, to be direct and simple, is mentalism, but I also do perceptionism and hypnotism, all the isms, if you will.
And you've been great. We appreciate you being here, but we're in the middle of figuring out if you could figure out the name
and the number.
Number that our intern, Dude Bronya, we call him Dude Bronya, put in his pocket before you got here, right? Yep. Right before you got here, he did that?
Yeah, he has it in his pocket right now. I got an E and I got an S, and I'm not sure. I saw tension in the cheeks at the very end. The number is going to be the hard part, because I told him any number. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it could be 4,286,000. It could be 226. So that's the hard part. I'll tell you what I got. Now, we didn't discuss, after we went off, we didn't discuss this at all. It was no mention
off the
of
air, Wayne was trying to help me retrace my steps in finding the in finding the John Cicada CD.
Yeah, that's CD,
a very
man.
analytical way of backtracking and trying to figure it out. Really cool.
Yeah, so, but anyway, let's rock and roll. I feel like in the very beginning you thought of somebody else, and you almost picked them, and then you changed it to whoever you're thinking of now.
I had my dad, and then I went brother.
That's why.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a switch, and I think that's why I got both of them. Is the name that you're thinking of, yes or no? Is it Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Don't urinate yet. Wait till the end. Now, the hard part is the number. Now, it could be any number in the world. I don't think I give you any limitations at all. I just said think of a number.
Well, I'll say this. It's not that random.
Okay. The number that the first pops into my head, were you thinking of the number 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take this a step further. He's freaking out. I'm going to take this a step further. Rich, if you could go anywhere in the world on a free vacation, right?
Yeah.
Where would you go? Tell me right now.
Probably the Maldives.
Good choice. I think that's off the coast of India, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to imagine you're there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Covino, if you were with him and you would stay in a hotel room number, what room number would you stay in? Make something up.
Okay.
Say it out loud.
Say it out loud?
Yeah.
Room 633.
Okay, is that important to you in any way, 633, or is it something
No.
totally random? All right.
Just totally random.
Now, Rich can verify everything that's about to happen. I have my jacket here. I'm reaching in my pocket. I'm pulling out a piece of paper that's folded up. I'm handing it to him right now.
Mm-hmm.
This has been in my pocket the entire show. Unfold that and read the two things I had written on there. You're going to lose it.
Maldives 633. What the fuck? Yeah! Oh my God!
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes. And you know what's funny? I mean, Maldives was hard, bro.
I can imagine. That was the most random. Oh my God!
Like who would even think Maldives? I that's crazy. I almost put Papua New Guinea because I thought it was going to be weird.
Wow! All right, you blew my mind. Get out of here, dude. Wayne Hoffman, a pleasure having you here, man. Honestly, you're welcome back anytime. Hit him up at Wayne Hoffman on Twitter, and if you're ever down to Atlantic City, Mind Candy, he does a show at Revel, which is insane. And I'm guessing, do you take that all over the country doing different shows, or are you officially down at Revel for a while?
No, what happens is a lot of people, they'll hear me on a show like this or something, and then they end up hiring me for like a corporate event where I'll come in and do a national sales conference for a big corporation, or I do motivational speaking. I do a college campus tour twice a year, the things at Revel. So yeah, I've been to 49 different countries and all 50 states, and I travel around. You can check out the tour schedule at waynehoffman.com and see where I am. Also, actually, for the listeners, last night I put a riddle on my website. And if you click on riddle, go to waynehoffman.com, click on riddle. I put a riddle. The first person to email me the one-word answer, you win $1,000 cash.
Well, what's the riddle?
I don't actually. You know what's funny? The riddle is not just a simple phrase like "What's the sound of one hand clapping?"
It's like a whole story.
It's like I think 3, maybe 4 different mini paragraphs, and they all allude to something. So if you read the riddle, email me the one-word answer. All the instructions and the official rules are on the website. $1,000 cash. So check it out.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for being here, Wayne Hoffman, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, Jason, you're in charge of showing Wayne out.
Wow. Get this demon out of here.
Before he blows anyone else's mind. Jimmy, you're on in Texas. What's up, Jimmy?
Yo, what's up, hermano?
What's up, brother?
Hey, man, that was great, man. That dude sounds legit. I don't know if he is or isn't, but I'm not in the studio, but he sounds great.
Cool, man.
I'm convinced.
I was gonna call in and tell Covino that I think that he can go ahead and add insect shit, altering to his list, because while he was doing the ABC 1, 2, 3 thing to Bronia, I'm out here fucking. It's 100 degrees outside right now. There's nothing going on. Nothing flying around, and a damn dragonfly lands on my ear while he's doing that shit.
Yo, hang on. You are gonna flip out. This is freaking me out, man. You are freaking me out. You are freaking me out right now. Listen to this. You're gonna freak out, guys. This is welcome to my world. Just I forget when the hell it was. Just recently, I had a vision of a dragonfly. Right?
Yeah.
And I envisioned this thing in my mind. I saw it in my head. I saw the whole thing. I walk out of the Revel where I'm performing, and I walk down to the boardwalk, Atlantic City, right? I walk out, and sitting there right on the boardwalk is a dragonfly. And I said, this is going to become important. So I better put this up on Instagram. I think I tweeted it. If you check out my tweet thing, it was like a day or 2 ago. I posted a picture of a dragonfly.
And
I
you said,
swear to
shut
God.
up, dude.
It's Wayne Hoffman is the Instagram. Check it out. That's the last picture that I posted, and I knew
I'm
it
going
was
there
going to
right
become
now,
important.
and people know Jimmy from our show, so this is not a setup
and
or
this
anything
is
like that.
timestamped, so you can see it. Yeah,
Wow.
I think I tweeted. I made a joke. I like to consider myself a part-time comedian, not really, but I put dragonfly like a G6.
There you go.
Yeah, and I posted this up. It's on.
Wow.
I think it's on. If it's not on Twitter, then it's definitely on my Instagram.
Well, I'll tell you legit, man. I only got the Twitter to follow these guys to help their numbers, so I'll definitely follow you.
Hey, man, follow me if you'd like. I don't force people to. I'm not a salesman on that, but I definitely if you want to, I'd appreciate it. You know the drill.
Just one quick question. I was going to ask him, since he can tell people lying or not lying. What are your thoughts on John Edwards? Liar or telling the truth?
My opinion.
I'll let y'all finish on that, brother.
Later, Jimmy.
Short version. John Edwards does what I do. He just claims he's talking to the dead. Right now, I just told him to think of a name. He thought of the name Steve. I could have said, think of the name of someone who passed away. I could have sat here and said, I'm sensing a spirit of someone named Steve, and he says hi. Of course, you'd probably believe me, because how the hell would I know that if I wasn't speaking to his spirit? You know what I'm saying?
So someone could do what you do and claim they're talking to the dead,
right? And
they could fuck with people.
Gotcha. Yep. So that's my opinion on that.
Cool.
Case closed.
All right.
Wow. And I'm looking at the picture on your Instagram, Wayne Hoffman. And
dude, I knew that was going to become important.
What the fuck?
No, because he was
crazy.
walking out and he jumped back up. He's like, "Whoa, dragonfly!"
Yeah,
Wow.
like that was. I just knew that was going to become important. And you know what's weird? I did a thing that people are skeptical about, and I'll end on this. I don't want to take up too much time, but when Michael Jackson died, a little bit before, and I forget if it was a month before or a couple weeks before, I had this overwhelming thing, and I have a place out in LA, actually on right on Sunset, and right in the heart of Hollywood. And I walked out, and I saw Michael Jackson star, who was actually not the official Michael Jackson; it was a radio host. But I just saw the name Michael Jackson, made me think of the singer. I said, something's going to happen. So I recorded a video of me saying, I think this is going to become important in one of my shows. And I walked up and I videotaped it. Shortly thereafter, big announcement, Michael Jackson dies. So, and the video's on YouTube. Wayne Hoffman, Michael Jackson prediction. Make your own determination.
Wow.
And it's the same vibe I got when I saw this dragonfly. Like, this is going to become important for some reason.
And right before you left, that's so
It's
weird.
weird.
That's so
weird.
random.
It is. So, guys,
thank you, man.
Thanks for having me.
No
and,
problem.
I'll be in touch.
All right,
Enjoy.
at Wayne Hoffman. Thanks, brother.
Yep. Cheers.
As seen on NBC's Phenomenon, the Ellen DeGeneres Show, National Geographic, and now the Covino and Rich Show. Wayne Hoffman.
Pretty cool, man.